of my favorite places to camp, or like kind of areas to camp, is right by a river. I love being able to hear it. I love being able to see it. I like being by the water. I don't know. I've always loved it. Camp last night was okay. I thought it rained, but then I woke up and nothing was wet, so maybe I had a nightmare that it rained again like I did the night before. Got a little cool. Not really in the sun right now. Actually, the sun's just starting to come right now. We're going home today, but not before we do a little bit more exploring.
Oh, okay.
How'd you sleep?
Better than I thought I would.
Oh yeah?
You need to shave. So do I.
So do you. You got peach fuzz going on down there.
That ain't peach fuzz, Jason.
That's actually exactly what peach
Those
fuzz
are
is.
whiskers.
Okay. What are you doing?
Warming up.
By the way, I just got this orange waterproof bag on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was less than $100. I was looking at the Ortlib waterproof bags or whatever, but they were like ridiculously expensive. I bought this thing on Amazon. I've got it linked in my Amazon store, which is in the description below. So far, it's kept out dust and water. Hasn't had water rain direct on it. It's just been in the bed of the truck, but it's been perfect so far. Overkill, but do you remember that moldy tent incident that we had? I don't want to have another one. I'm not really sure the next time I'm going to go camping. I'm not really sure the next time I'm going to open this thing up, and at home it's a frozen tundra. So in a perfect world, I think what I would like to have, I'm thinking about this a lot, I've thought about like drawers and storage and stuff, but like I really like having the boxes, and I like the ability of like not having like my truck bed full of stuff all the time, which the drawers would kind of be like that, right? So if I had a drawer system, I'd have, you know, 10 or 12 inches of space just totally consumed, which also may complicate things for the fridge. What I was thinking is something like a cargo glider bed slide or something like that, and I can have everything on here. I can have lashing points on that thing. I can slide the whole thing out and pull the boxes down, and then lash the boxes back to and slide the barrel back in and have the fridge on there. And I was going to build like a battery power system onto it and all this stuff. Like that's kind of that's like where my mind's at. Maybe I'll do something different someday, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. It's Mountain Man, Mountain. What are they called? Mountain House. This spicy Southwest breakfast hash. It's got a little kick. Kind of digging it. So far this area has been just like an overland wonderland. Is that, God, that's really lame. Did I just say that? All right, let's look around. Did we leave anything? Any trash? I always try and leave things better than I found them. Most campsites that we go to are relatively clean. We did pick up quite a bit of trash the night before last. This campsite's really clean. Of course, I don't think very many people come down here anyway, but yeah. Airing up these large tires, it's a bit of a chore. I'm still using the same method of airing up. It's that little single AirB compressor in a box. I've had it for years, and frankly I think it's on its last legs. I actually have a power tank at the house, however, I have no doubt that it's going to be the best way to air up these huge tires, without a doubt. The only problem I have is that I haven't been able to find a way to fill it up. I have only spent, admittedly, 1 day, but admittedly, again, it was also a full day. I went down to Salt Lake, I followed a couple of leads, a few different people said that, hey, go here, go there, made a couple of phone calls, showed up at a few different places, and a few different times, actually all of those times, I was basically turned away or said no or couldn't help you or whatever. So that was a little frustrating for me. It's not Power Tank's fault, obviously. Ideally, I would have a power tank or a way to fill up the CO2 tank around my area up in Park City, but I don't. If you happen to know of a place in, up there in the mountains that might do that for me, feel free to let me know. I got a lot of ideas, but I'm not like super anxious to get into it, because I'm actually super duper stoked that this thing, like as it sits right now, I literally don't have to do anything for it to be functional. I can make things some more optimal, but I don't have to do anything to make it functional. My favorite thing about the Morphlate system, or another system similar to that, a lot of people are like, I don't want to mess with the hoses. Here's the cool thing. You mess with the hoses, you hook it all up, and you can kind of set it and forget it for a few minutes. You don't have to nurse each and individual tire. I do the front and then I do the back, primarily because I run the front at a higher PSI than I do the back. I think this is way more low maintenance. Messing with the hoses is a little bit of a fuss, but I think it's worth it, in my opinion. All in all, this trip has been most excellent. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. I don't get to do this very often, I feel like. You remember back in the day I used to go on a trip every month? Man, that was awesome. I don't have that kind of time right now. Too many things going on. This is a great trip. Thanks for coming along. Noah, if you're watching this, you get a chance to see it. Thanks for coming along. I know you don't like going on these types of trips. All in all, overall impressions of driving this beast off-road, we had a couple of little tight spots, but other than that, I mean, it was a blast. This thing, I'm just still totally in love with this truck. Got a couple little things I'd like to tweak storage-wise, but not really in any big hurry, because I actually really like the fact that I don't have to do anything to like make this thing work. Really like that. Anyway, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you're sharing it with your friends, and whatever. We'll see you in the next video. I do admit messing with all these hoses is kind of a pain in the butt, but I do also like the fact that I can just set it and forget it. Ugh. I know that the Morphlate guys have a bigger bag. I think it's probably at my house. I haven't been home in like a month. Really excited to get home. My wife misses me. I'm not even sure if Sam, my 2-year-old, remembers what I look like. But when I get home, I'm gonna take the next couple of days off. I'm just hang out, not do anything else. Spend time with them. It's gonna be awesome.